Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Ener-She podcast, where we have conversations, never competition. I'm your host, Adriana, and this podcast is brought to you by Adriana at Inflection Point Life Coaching. That's me. So, before we jump in, I want to be really clear with one thing. Life coaching is not therapy, and I am not a licensed therapist, yet I am working towards that goal for sure. It's coming. Until then, life coaching is simply what I do. I'm a trauma informed life coach and a certified drug and alcohol counselor in the states of California and Oregon. And I help people transform their lives one session at a time. If you're interested in working together and want to see what I can offer you, which is results, you're welcome to book a free consultation. Um, this can be found on my website, and we'll take it from there. So now I want to introduce you to the women I get to do this thing with. So first, I have Crystal. No, I love her name. God, so good, right? Not only my co-host, but my co-conspirator in all of this. We basically dared each other to follow through. And what I love about Crystal is that she will keep her word before she ever eats her words. So she's my kind of woman, if you know what I mean. She has an incredible background in IT, but don't let that fool you. Behind all of that brain power is pure hilariousness. Some of my deepest laughs come from my conversations with Crystal, and I cannot wait for all of you to get to know her better. And then here there's Karen Shirley, my bestie of over 8 years. And Karen is also a certified drug and alcohol counselor in the state of California and a developing life coach. She is one of my biggest cheerleaders, and I'm hers. And I'm honestly just really glad she's here. So, welcome to the Ener-She podcast. We're really glad that you found us. Now, let's dive into some truth telling, ladies. Today's topic is, Crystal, why don't you introduce today's topic?
Thanks, Adriana. And I will as soon as I take a drink because I'm sick.
Love it. Oh my God. You're amazing. You're
Yeah.
amazing.
And hopefully I won't cough too much through this. So yeah, today we're just going to introduce ourselves and let you get to know us better and say, who we are, why we decided to do this crazy thing. Like, I think we're all in our 40s.
Yep.
And what kind of brought us all together and how we ended up here. Just again, kind of daring each other with ideas and be like, let's just do it.
Yeah.
You know?
I love it. So
Yeah.
great topic. I love it. Karen, how are you feeling about it? Ready to dive
I'm
in?
along for the ride. I just keep going forward.
That's it. That's all you can do, boo. That's it. Right? It's all you can do, right?
Just keep showing up. Let's just
That's
do it.
Keep coming back. It works. It works.
If you work it, so work it because you're worth it.
Okay, don't make me
Absolutely,
start twerking
100%.
because I'll do it elsewhere right now.
And it took a long time to figure that out too.
Seriously. Thank you for saying that, Karen, because it's true. Here we are, like you said, we're all in our 40s, right, Crystal? And
Mhm.
here we all are. So why don't we take an opportunity to because we all know each other, but our audience doesn't know us, right? So, Crystal, why don't you start and just tell us about you and give us your life and what led you here and what you hope to do with this community that we're building.
I was born in Redwood City. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. So I think what's interesting is Adriana and Karen know each other pretty well, but I kind of only have just met them recently, so they don't know my story or like my background. So I grew up in the Bay Area. Um, was raised pretty much by a single mom. I'm the youngest of three, technically four. I have three older brothers. So being the only girl and the youngest kind of made me have to know how to hold my own, right?
Mhm.
But also kind of made it like I'm not the oldest sister, but I feel like being the youngest and the only girl, you kind of still get that burden of being the one who can handle emotions and the one who can, from a young age, you get parentified a little bit.
Yeah.
And so that was definitely a little bit of my role. I feel like with especially my mom in the household growing up and um she my parents were married and then they got divorced when I was like 7, remarried again when I was like 14, and then
Mhm.
divorced again when I was 18. So it was like boom 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 boom.
Wow.
And we'll get into it as we go through this podcast, but obviously there was a lot that happened in childhood. It was the 80s, it was the 90s, like
Yeah.
come home when the streetlights are on kind of thing, and just hope you don't get, taken by some random person in a van.
My gosh, that was like me at 5 walking home.
Yeah,
Like everything you just said was like me growing up in Santa Clara, Crystal.
yeah, yeah,
That's wild.
yeah.
Streetlights come on, but don't get taken by that weird van down the
Like,
street.
no, like like at 6 years old, you should know things all of a sudden. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
seriously. I wouldn't
yeah,
dare let my kid nowadays. Like, there's
yeah.
no way, you know?
So like, I was pretty much, throughout high school, I was straight. I mean, I identified as straight. I had boyfriends. I didn't come out. I'm gay, in case you didn't know. I have a wife. She's amazing. She's like
She
the
is
best
amazing, by
person
the
I've
way.
ever met in my life.
Yeah.
Um, but I came out when I was 19, after I moved to LA, to, you know, have dreams that don't come true. Um, and
Until now.
I lived there for like a year. And then I had pretty much long-term girlfriends after that. Every relationship I've been in has been 3 years, 4 years. And then I met my wife, and we've been together, um, going on almost, it'll be 13 years this June, um, that we've been together. So, um, being with her has been like the highlight of my life. She had a 6-year-old daughter when we met. So jumped into the step parent role pretty seriously. And, it's been like the best adventure ever, really. Um, my wife is a recovering addict. She will have 4 years come June. But she started recovery in 2017.
Mhm.
And so being with her through that recovery, recognizing my own like defects, I started going to CODA back then. In 2017, I did CODA for like 5 years. Uh, was pretty did the 12 steps, and then or COVID started, so I stopped at step 10 because everything shut down. We couldn't see each other. But then I started going to Nar, so I've been going to Nar for I think it's almost 3 years, or almost 4 years now, because I think it's as long as she's been clean. Um, and so I'm very active in Nar now.
What is Naranon for people who aren't
Nar
sure?
is like Al Anon, but for Narcotics Anonymous. So it's friends and families of addicts.
Very
Um,
good.
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Very cool. Thank you for
So
explaining
yeah.
that.
Yeah, that's like very in a nutshell.
Mhm. That's
There's
your
there's
story in a
there's
nutshell.
so much there's like so many little pieces to all of it, but
Yeah.
it's we're not gonna be here all day about me.
Well, I love it. Thank you
Mm,
for sharing so much of you. And
yeah.
I'm curious, and what a beautiful story you have. And your wife is fantastic, by the way. Your wife is, and the two of you together are just like the best. Um, so I'm curious, what are you hoping to do now, Crystal? Now that your dreams will start to come true.
I think like one thing I wanna express and like accomplish, I guess, with this podcast is like I watch a lot of podcasts. I do a lot of like self-help podcasts, like a lot of self-help reading. Um, and it always feels like sometimes the people doing it have already done it and have it together. Um, and for me, it's like I definitely am better than I was, but like I recognize that like I'm constantly evolving. Like I don't know it all. I know as much as I know right now, but like there will be other things in the future, probably 10 years from now, I'll look back on this and be like, you were an idiot. Like like I look back at my 30-year-old self. And
Yeah,
so I just want it to be like a vulnerable, honest conversation about like what I have experienced and how I did get through it and how I am getting through it. And like how it's not easy, but you can make it fun. Depending attitude of gratitude
hmm,
goes a long way.
for
So
sure.
I think just having those conversations and not making it so serious, and making it, something that feels like you're talking to your friend in a coffee shop.
Totally. Something real.
Yeah.
Thank you, Crystal. Well said. Agreed. Because I love a good podcast, right? Like self-help. I've listened to it almost in an unhealthy amount of you know what I mean? But I'm always finding I'm like, wow, it seems so put together and so predictable. And I don't want predictable conversations. I want to hear real women having real conversations. And that's when you said, like, I want to do it. And I said, me too. And I want to bring in people and have like real conversations where we're not just talking like where it's recorded and it's planned like some sort of like stage thing. Let's just talk about some real shit. Like, let's talk about some real life topics that we're all going through. And at the same time, help heal each other and any other woman who listens, you know? So thank you, Crystal. Good job. All right, let's turn it over to Miss Karen. Karen, tell us about yourself.
Well, I'm not really sure where to start.
Who are you?
Who am
Why
I?
are you here?
I'm like still on that journey on
Yeah.
who am I, right? Because
Yeah.
for a long time I've been defining myself as a mom or as a career person or as a drug and alcohol counselor, as a friend, as a partner, all these things that I do, and they're all like external things, right? And so right now I'm working on the internal. And how I got here was having my own addiction and stemming from my own childhood trauma and not feeling worthy and not feeling heard and losing my voice and not being good enough and going through many years of causing harm to myself and my loved ones and my own children and being in and out of Narcotics Anonymous since I was 21 and finally hit bottom at age 34 and changed my life and has I've been working towards building this beautiful life that I have. Um, and I'll have, God willing, I'll have 11 years here, uh, March 5th.
So wild. So wild.
And yeah, so now my goal is to get my bachelor's degree. I'm halfway done. And I am looking at doing staying on the same career path, but kind of doing a little switcheroo on exactly what I do in the career.
Yeah.
I'm just not sure exactly what. Um,
Mhm.
and following suggestions from my most trusted advisors.
What?
I don't know who that can be.
I mean,
I have no idea.
I just throw. I
Because
mean,
in this like recovery life, for me, I can only speak for myself, right? I build these wonderful, beautiful, honest, integral relationships with women who support me and build me up and hold me together
mhm.
when shit hits the fan, and a lot of shit hit the fan the past couple years. And and they're the ones who just continue to say, let's go here. Let's do this. I know you can do this, you know? And so I trust that.
Amazing.
And so that's why I'm here. Like sitting on a podcast, that's not my thing. That's your thing.
It's
You know?
definitely my thing.
I'm like, I don't want to be on camera. What are we doing right now? I
Well,
don't
get
know.
over here.
I
Get
know.
over
You're like,
here.
come on, let's do it. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. What are we talking about? I don't know.
Well,
Whatever comes
because
out of my mouth, I guess. So here we
which I
are.
love. And the reason and thank you, Karen, for sharing all of your truth and for introducing yourself to us and to our audience and our listeners. And the reason why drag you into these things is because I know that when Karen and I are conversating, 9 times out of 10, I wish I would have recorded it. Do you know what I mean? I wish I would have recorded it. It would have helped so many people if I could just have recorded it, right? And when I'm talking to Crystal, I'm laughing so hard. I wish people could experience this kind of laughter and humor and like, and so just having the two of you here together is like, I'm like, this is, it's like, it's perfection. Do you know what I mean? It's just a perfect little, like, perfect storm of perfection, right? It's going to get a rainbow out of
Like
it.
a charcuterie board.
It's which I'm really good at. I'm good at
I know, that's why I said that.
thank you. I'm great at
Sprinkle,
charcuterie.
sprinkle.
Yeah, sprinkle, sprinkle, fam. So thank you, everybody. And then let me just jump right on in and introduce myself. So my name is Adriana and Adriana Granlund, and I am what brought me here was that I was adopted at a really young age, and that alone created an abandonment wound. And here's the piece. I don't blame my mother, who was all of the ripe old age of 14 when she had me. God bless her soul. And she did, I think, one of the most admirable things that a woman could ever do, a young woman, which is decide to have a baby at 14 and then determine to, give birth to me and give me an opportunity to life that she felt she couldn't give me. Um, and she did, and I was adopted to 2 wonderful, loving parents, and who had already had children of their own. And so I grew up in this huge, ginormous family, and that created where I felt like I was smack dab in the middle. And then here I am with 2 Caucasian parents and all these Caucasian brothers, mixed siblings, and I'm in the middle, and I'm just, like, wondering who I am, why I'm here, right? And how come I don't look like them? Where do I fit in? And here I am at a very young age feeling like that my whole life. Like, who am I? Where do I fit? How come I never feel a part of? And that feeling carried through my life no matter what my parents were doing. Now, my mom had her own set of issues, right? I mean, she was a charge head nurse of a hospital. My father was an engineer. And they had all these kids where we all just kind of ran wild and raised each other. Grew up in the Bay Area until I was like 8 years old. My brother passed away. We moved out to the country. Good old Penryn for any of you familiars, right? Penryn, California. And I felt like we moved away from everything and everyone I knew. And again, I felt isolated and alone and abandoned, right? My brother passed away and gosh, I really loved him. Like I loved hanging out with him. I'd wake up early just to spend time with him. And the fact that I couldn't see him anymore was just I didn't understand it. And as I got older, I still again just didn't feel like I fit in. So I was gonna make myself fit in. And if you get to know me, you're like, yep, that's her, right? If you don't, I don't walk into places. I learned at that age to stop walking into places like I didn't belong or like I didn't and start questioning my worth. I made myself fit. So if there wasn't a spot at the table for me at the lunch table, I was going to make somebody give me a space, or I was going to make a space for myself. And if there wasn't a place on the cheerleading squad, well, I'll just become the captain. That's fine, right? So that's just been my the way I've handled things. And so, but as I got older again and I got into high school, didn't feel like I fit in still. And I'm looking at all these girls and it's a new level of not fitting in. And so where do I turn to? Well, like, to where a lot of us have gone to the wrong side of the tracks. And I chose the problem boy in high school who was one of the finest things that ever walked the earth as far as I was concerned. And I had lost my mind over this boy and doing drugs, right? To feel thin, to feel like I was a part of, to not care, to not deal with the things that had been happening at home where my mom was, uh, you know, what happens to a woman who's raising all these children and working these long hours? Well, she was angry, right? And frustrated, and the house is a mess, and always upset and yelling. And so, but I would have been too if I had all those kids, right? And so, I used drugs the majority of my life, and I ended up with 3 kids going through issue after life issue, CPS cases, went to jail once, horrible relationship after horrible relationship. And it took me down, my life was taking me down avenues, but it wasn't just me, it was taking my kids. And that's where I was like, you know what? I can, fine, let life happen to me, sure. But they didn't deserve it. My kids didn't deserve the life that was happening to them because of my poor choices. And that's when I did, like, after I had my third baby and he was confiscated into CPS custody, I got this wake, and my oldest son was off to college, and my daughter, who's my middle child, is, in the middle of her high school years. And here I am, a strung out drug addict for over 23 years. And I thought to myself, I need to make a change. And I've tried rehab, I've tried all the things, and I just needed to get it together. And so I was able to go into a program. I was able to go into several programs, one in particular, St. John's Program for World Change, which, if you ever get a copy of my book, which is called Beautifully Broken and Wonderfully Put Back Together, you'll read about all of my life story, which is essentially my history and what brought me to where I'm at today. Out on Amazon, by the way, shameless plug. um, but I determined that I was going to make a life for myself. And I wasn't gonna just do it for me, I was gonna do it for my kids. And I was able to get to that life. And I haven't looked back, and here I celebrate now 9 years clean and sober. I've worked thank you, thank you, thank you. I've worked now in the field of drugs and alcohol field as a certified counselor for over 8 years. And I'm now going down a different avenue. I found myself working in these fields. People call on my level of expertise, right? And I know Karen can relate. And we go really hard. We work really hard for these places, spinning our wheels. And then when we leave these jobs, for one reason or another, you're left sitting with exhaustion, depletion. We're giving up time with our kids. And I'm literally pouring my all into these companies to get them to where they need to be so that they can make all this money. And I'm doing my best to help as many people as possible, but it's taking away from my home becomes unbalanced, right? And so it takes away from me being a mother. It takes away from me having time for myself or to be a good friend or to pursue the things that I want to do. And I'm in college trying to finish up my bachelor's, right? Like, come on. And so I can get to this master's and get this degree. And I just felt so exhausted. And so now I've pursued life coaching, which is, I'm not, again, a replacement for a therapist, but this has broadened my horizon to build, if I can pour myself into these companies the way that I have to build them up for greatness, I can do that for myself. And if I can do that for myself, so that I can do this for my children, so that I can be a mother, I can do this for other women and teach them how. I can empower other women. It's one of my jams, right? So if I can do it, you can do it. And that's what led me here to this podcast, right? Which I love that, Crystal, we were like, let's do it. I dare you. Let's do it, right? Because we don't have to talk about our dreams anymore. We can live them, right? And so that's what brought me here. So yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Well,
Yeah, fantastic. So, any thoughts, any questions, anything that you guys would like to touch on while we're in the Ener-She podcast? Any subjects in particular that you feel like you're going through in life that you'd really like some guidance on, or something that you notice is coming up for you a lot lately?
I was reflecting today, as I've been doing for a while now,
Yeah.
and I don't know if any one of you can relate to this. What I have noticed in the past 10, 11 years, right? That in about the first 5 years of my recovery, I felt I felt driven and I felt motivated and I felt not so emotionally attached to much because I was so externally I was just external on everything, right? I
Mm-hmm.
had all these goals that
Yeah.
um I had all these goals that were set, right? And I kept going for them. Like I had this goal that I wasn't going to allow the way I looked, my body to affect the way I feel about myself because I used to use because of my weight, right? So I had the opportunity for the first time in my life and the drive and the motivation to start working out. So I did
Mm-hmm.
that like religiously.
Mhm.
and so I achieved that, and then I got the motivation to get my certification back because I let that lapse because I relapsed and did all the things, right? And so I achieved that, and then I started my career again in 18, and and then about the 5-year mark,
Mhm.
you know,
The
about
itch.
2020,
Yeah.
that's when I realized, looking back, hindsight, of course, everything is hindsight.
Yeah, for sure.
That's when I got my first real wave of emotion from my past trauma coming up and having
Ah,
it affect me,
wow.
right?
Wow.
And from then on, it has progressively um grown.
Mhm.
My emotions, my awareness, me being in tuned with my emotions,
Yeah.
the level of awareness
Mhm.
of how everything is connected, and how I respond to things, and it just gets deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper as time goes on.
Yeah.
And and I just find it really fascinating how people wonder why people with a lot of clean time go out,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Because I think that the more you stay in recovery, the more you feel.
Oh, so good. So good.
And it gets harder
Yeah,
because
it
all that
does.
stuff comes up.
Yeah. Mhm.
Because I mean, I can only speak for myself, and that's why I'm bringing it up, because for me, like, I've spent the first 34 years denying, suppressing, masking, drowning, putting chemicals on top of all of it.
Right.
And
Stuffing it again.
then and then once
Mhm.
I got clean,
Mhm.
I put goals on top of it, my career on top of it,
Stuffing it again. Stuffing it again. Yeah.
exercise on top of it,
Mhm.
you
Yep.
know, accolades on top of it,
Yeah. Let me
you
chase that
know,
for sure.
all of it, you
Yep.
know? And
Agreed.
I still and I could still do it, and I catch myself do it. Stay busy, just stay busy.
Yeah.
Just stay busy, don't sit still
Right.
on top of it.
Mhm. Because what? What are we left with if we're not busy, right, Crystal? If I
Yourself,
and Karen, what then I'm left with what, Karen? Which
yourself.
oh,
Myself. Yeah.
whoa. And heaven forbid we get stuck sitting with ourself and our thoughts. Because I don't know about Karen, thank you for saying it, because I couldn't agree with you more. And I feel like it was since I hit 40. What about you, Crystal?
I was gonna say it's interesting because I feel like that feeling as, like, someone who's not necessarily an addict, it's like you do like, I feel that same thing as, like, I feel like throughout my 30s, I was very, like, focused on just the next thing, the next thing, the next thing, like, piling it on myself, taking on more than I could handle, just pushing through, like, all the things that we were told, like, "Pull up your bootstraps," kind of thing, and that was just from, like, I mean, I don't know, I have CPTSD, so very well could have been that, but,
Welcome
like
to the club.
yeah, um, but
Welcome.
like, it is interesting, and I do think it, like, does come with age, and I can imagine too, like, I mean, once you've been clean for a while, I would imagine that, like, it's like you're at one point, you're stuck at the age you started using, right? And then as you get clean, I feel like you maybe get older and kind of grow up, like through, whether you're 50, you're 60, 40, like however old you are. I do feel like it comes with like however old you are and that
Mhm.
mentality of like, why am I doing this to myself? What
Yes.
this like, and that's like where I'm at in life, where I'm kind of like, nothing is that important other than like the people, big
Yes.
people, period. And my
Yeah.
and my dog and my cats. But other than that,
Meow meow.
you know,
Yes.
like
Yes.
my work is important. Like I have an important job. Like,
Yeah.
I take it seriously, but like I'm not gonna let it affect my mentality and my emotion and like not let me sleep at night and like think,
Yeah.
okay, I need. And it's funny because it's like the less I worry about it,
Mhm.
the better I become,
Mm,
So true.
you know?
So good.
And I mean, I'm kind of swerving off of what you were sharing, Karen, but like it's just I don't know. I mean, that's why I kind of love that we're all doing this together because it's like we all have similar but different perspectives. And it's, in Naranon, we kind of talk a lot about like in the group that I'm in, there's not a lot of spouses. It's a lot of
Mhm.
parents, right? So it's a
Yeah.
very different love and concern and hurt. And so sometimes when we start talking about marriages, it's like, well, that's just marriage. That's not necessarily being married to an addict. Like being married is just hard, you know? And so
Yeah.
sometimes I feel like it's like, well, sometimes just being a human is hard,
Yeah.
And I can imagine like having the weight of addiction on top of being a human. Like I can't even imagine what that feels like.
Mm.
Like, nor do I want to, because like
Right.
mental health alone, like I'm good.
Mm.
We can stop there. That's all I can handle, you
I
know?
don't wanna add on no need to add gasoline to that fire, honey.
sprinkle of
You know what I
mental
mean?
health,
Yeah, yeah,
sprinkle of addiction.
yeah. I mean, like, you ask my wife, she should tell you I'm addicted to information and people. Like, I'm definitely a codependent at heart. Like, Coda helped me so much in all of my relationships in life. But like, drugs are different. Like, let's just be honest. It's a different thing. But yeah.
Mhm. Codependency is a drug too. Don't let the smooth taste
I
fool
mean,
you, honey.
it is. It is. It is.
I can
It
get that
is.
dopamine hit after thinking about that person all day long. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so yeah, but thank you for saying that, Crystal and Karen. Perfect topic. Like I'm just saying, because I feel the same way that both of you feel. I feel like for all these years since getting clean and feeling like I was behind in life, and therefore I was off and running, and I needed to hurry up and play catch up with my life. I was just off and running, right? And ever since they opened the gates essentially and let me out of that program, I have not stopped. And if you and you guys will and you guys are familiar, you've seen me in the news, you guys have seen the books, you've seen the social
Yeah, you're
media.
doing way too much. You're making this look bad. We don't want to do a podcast, but we're here. It's okay.
Go
No, this
A,
is not
go
meant to make
A.
me look bad. I'm just speaking my truth. It's my
And you're like,
truth.
come
Yeah,
on, come
and
with me,
that's
come
it.
with me.
Because I just want to bring everybody with me. That's the thing. That's actually, I'll get into that in just a second. But that's why essentially I'm like, here we are. Because every time no matter what I do, no matter how hard I've been off and running, I realized that the whole time along the way, the only thing I've ever wanted to do the entire time was to help people. I wanted people to understand that the thing that I finally realized, which is the truth. The truth is that you can heal. The truth is that you can be better. The truth is that you can have a life and create one for yourself beyond your wildest dreams. The only thing you have to do is believe that you're capable and go after it, and go after it with the same fiery, you know, uh, tenacity that you did with your addiction, that you did after that person, that you did trying to obtain the thing and the goals. And so, but in the process of not wanting to sit with myself, I too was chasing the accolades and trying to become supervisor and management. And then when I get there, I was like, why did I do this to myself? It's pulling me away from doing exactly what I'm called to do. Like I felt and here I am pouring into these companies, and I'm thinking these companies are benefiting greatly, which is what I want them to do because it'll help more people. but I'm exhausted and depleted at the end of that. And then I'm coming home and trying to be a mom and a partner, and it's just I'm not able. I felt like I just couldn't. It was like something had to give. If I'm at work and I'm doing all these things, something's suffering. And, so when I had the ability to take a moment and step back, when my job shut down, and I'm grateful that it did. And it was shocking because I was left with the question that I'm sure all of you are when you take away, who am I if I'm not a counselor? Eh, Who am I if I'm not a mom? It was, who am I? Who am I if I'm not chasing these accolades? Who am I if I'm not Adriana, the counselor? Who am I? And I just didn't know. Right? I just didn't know, and it's that thought scared me, and I finally was able to sit with myself long enough to say, I to finally get in tune with what was important to me, and that is none of those things that I was chasing when I stopped mattered. You know what matters to me? My children. You know what matters to me? Being the best version of myself. You know what I'm saying? And also really, and then I feel this strong desire. I feel it so strongly. I want to empower other women to become that for themselves so that they recognize that they don't have to keep chasing these things, these people, these places, these things that you can by choosing yourself and chasing your dreams, that all that other stuff will come. The house, the car, the things, the accolades, it'll come. But start chasing your dreams and do it to be of, and whatever you do, be of service. What are you good at? How do you serve? Right? Like Crystal's our IT. Like she's gonna edit this whole thing, right?
Hopefully.
Crystal,
Yeah.
this we pray. Right? But you find your niche, you find what you're good at and how you can help serve people in your community, and you go for it. You know what I mean? And so that's why I'm so glad that we're all at this point. It's about choosing yourself. It's not about the things. It's about choosing what's important to you. And all that stuff just doesn't even seem as important anymore. You know? If it
And it's so
comes, great. But if
it's
not,
it's so funny because like especially like when we decided to move to the Sacramento area from the Bay Area and like the way that everything fell into place with like and especially like how we were already both in recovery at that point
yeah.
and like our spiritual connection to our higher power and like just being so open to whatever the universe was going to offer us. And
Yeah.
like when you see it all fall just into place so perfectly, like
Mhm.
there's no denying that like good energy brings good things, right? Like
Yes.
and like as I get older, that's the more like I'm like, I just want to have like good energy, like in
Mhm.
myself. Like you can have bad energy. I'll be around you with bad energy because I know my good energy can handle it. Like,
Right. I can
like,
shield it.
and maybe I'll rub off on you. Like, I just want people to like have, a good time and good vibes. And, but like, not everybody, there's still, and that's where I think looking at my like career is like obviously very different than both of yours, but like my bachelor's is in environmental studies. So like I don't have an IT degree. My bachelor was in environmental studies and then my minor was in recreation. I wanted to be like a naturalist. Like I wanted to take kids to parks and give them tours and like teach them things.
That's
So
awesome.
no, Crystal. I'm
And
gonna
like
make you take us on a tour.
I
oh
was like,
definitely.
come and be my kid.
Well,
You're
it's
on a
like
field trip.
and it's like so that like idea of like just wanting to have like that personal connection or like the impact on the community is like one reason why like I've pretty much always worked in government because I always feel like I recognize that like there's a purpose to that. Like I really feel passionate about giving back to the community and like my wife and I are very like involved with both our programs, but like we keep our extra bedroom open for we've had multiple people that need a place to stay. We said, just come stay with us for a little bit. Like you don't need to pay us, like get back on your feet. Just that, like people know us for that. And that's like something that I love about us. Like, I don't know where I'm going with this, but
I love it.
um
How
yeah.
you're of service.
Yeah,
It's how you
that's
serve.
basically what it is like being of service can mean so many different things, and just like you were saying, like finding your niche and finding what you're good at and like how you can give back to people.
Mhm. That's the piece. Thank you for saying, and I couldn't agree with you more. You and your wife have this book study that I've been attending now, and every time I go, there's like a different group of people, and I love it because I think to myself, I don't know if I would do something like that, but this is when we get there, I feel very at home. I feel very welcomed. Their dog Luna's just roaming around. You know what I mean? Like it's just so comfortable. Right? So thank you for what you do, and thank you to you and your wife, your wonderful wife, for being of service in the way that you are. And everybody has their way of doing so, and you just find it, and that's how you pour into your community. And even this right here, right now, Karen and this is us being of service, right? We're opening up the doors of opportunity for others to be either inspired to do the same or to listen in and start to speak up and tell their truth, right? Without fear of judgment, That's another I'm sick of the judgment and the shame and the fear. And I just want to take all of that and put it aside because I don't know about y'all, but I could get stuck in my head a million times about all the things that I should or shouldn't do. And if I sit there long enough, I just won't do them. Well, I'm not willing to do that anymore. I'm just going to go for it and see what happens. You know what I mean?
You can do it.
Yeah, absolutely. You can do it.
I have to like preface too. There's probably going to be a lot of like movie quotes and like song quotes. Like that's how I communicate. Like if we could put memes and gifs up on this, like that's probably what I would.
Let's do it.
Solid.
Yeah.
Karen will break out in song. Just whatever.
I
will
do,
turn into
like
song.
all the time.
Yeah.
Like I'm surprised I haven't already.
I'm a little shocked. She's like,
I mean, I have several times in my
We're
head,
getting comfortable. We're getting comfortable still.
but it will happen.
I'm here
Just
for
wait.
it. I'm here for
It's
it.
coming.
I'll be your drummer in the background. It's fine. Yeah.
It's good for you to have just to sit still.
All of a
Actually,
sudden, I'm going to pull out a tambourine and just be like,
there's a couple of times I'm like sitting here wanting to rock, and I'm like, no, I probably shouldn't rock on camera, and I have to like
Just
sit
do
still.
it.
okay, you can stim all you want. Yeah.
Stim away.
I'm like, I want to do it. I want to do it.
I play with my fingernails. You guys are going to see that a lot. It's my thing. That's my way of take it so I can focus.
Mm.
It's my fidget.
Yeah.
Okay. So ladies, I just cannot thank you enough for spending some quality time today and allowing, ourselves to just go ahead and introduce ourselves so that people could get the opportunity to know us better and 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 just to get the opportunity to really just discuss and introduce who you are to the community who will be listening. Some topics that we will be touching on while we're in the Ener-She podcast, because there's going to be many, right? We're going to be talking about real life and real life topics, right? So we're going to be talking about, Karen, I think you brought up perimenopause. I think I think we need to talk about this subject. It's a fantastic subject. I think we need to talk about finances. I think we need to talk about spirituality. I think we need to also talk about things like how our childhood trauma wounds manifested into our adulthood and how in our behaviors and the choices that we've made, right? In relationships, people, places, things, jobs, careers, and how these behaviors still affect you today. Um, I think we should also touch on uh, relationships with women. Okay, right? And what that looks like for you, and if you've had to overcome barriers uh, to get there, or if you're still working through barriers. So I hope this continues to be a very connected and connective space for all of us, just to keep it real with each other and have these great conversations. And hopefully this invites other women to join in and start asking themselves the same questions and knowing and realizing that they're not alone.
Or even wanting to participate.
Yeah. Might get some guests on here and yeah, it'll be a good
I
time.
love it. So good.
Stay tuned.
Tippy time.
Sure. Tippy. Stay tuned, ladies and gents, or just ladies. How about that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, everybody. Fantastic. And we'll see you next time.
That I lost my mouse again.
I mean